Hey, what's up guys, it's Deathstalker here with another Rainbow Six Siege video. As the title suggests, this one's going to be 23 tips for when you're playing as the defenders. Since we have a lot to go over, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, number 1, how to kick. This one is first because I cannot stress this enough. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, should know how to kick other players. So in the event you have a team killer amongst your squad, just press the scoreboard button, which is the touchpad on PS4, the select button on Xbox One, and the tab key for PC. Then toggle down to the player's name, select the name, and then select kick player. After this, a timer will start and everyone will be notified that you've cast a vote to kick the player. Should they also cast their votes, the player will be kicked from the match, though you should know that you need a majority of the players on your team to vote to kick. So if you have 5 players, 3 are needed to vote. If you have 3 players, 2 are needed to vote. Number 2, pick the right operator. I know everyone has their favorites and I'm not knocking that. By all means, play as the operator you want to, but don't complain if the enemy team wipes the floor with you. It's up to you to pick the correct operator. You not only want someone you're good with, but also a great counter to the enemy team, and or makes up for your team weaknesses. You should also try to pick an operator that complements other operators on your team. Number 3, communication is key. Siege is a highly tactical game that requires you to be in sync with your squad at all times. Microphones are highly recommended, but if you do not have a microphone, you can still at least drop a marker to highlight locations, which is great for calling out on a wall that needs breaching or possible enemy locations. This is done by aiming and then pressing the ping button. This is the left directional pad button on the PS4 and Xbox One, and the Z key on PC. Number 4, cameras. As defenders, don't forget that you have cameras at your disposal. When the action dies out, it's best for one person to take a moment and check the cameras. Remember, you can also tag enemies, which will drop a red marker on all your teammates' screens, notifying them of their positions. It's also a good idea to immediately check the camera feeds after the preparation phase, as this is the best time to identify the opposing team's operators as they make their approach to the building, which leads me to the next tip. Number 5, caution when spotting. While operating cameras, it is a good idea to spot enemies for your teammates, but use caution. The enemy is also notified when they've been spotted, and this often leads to them searching for and destroying the camera. Number 6, use your compass and learn the maps. In case you haven't noticed, at the bottom of the screen there is a compass, which is great if we shout at things like they're in a building on the west. But let's be realistic, no one's doing that much work. Though if you look closely, next to the compass is the name of the room or hall that you're in. It'll even tell you what floor you're on. A quick glance here every now and then should help you become more familiar with the maps. This also helps with the accuracy of calling out locations to your teammates. Number 7, keep track of your enemies. The last thing you want to do is find out that an attacker has flanked you after they've already killed you. Shouting out enemy locations and keeping your teammates informed is a necessity for survival and coordination. Use the operators' names rather than the players' names as well, as this helps with grasping potential dangers like the cluster charges or riot shields. If you have to, jump on the cameras or ask your teammates if they see a specific operator. Just make sure you have a good idea of where your threats are. But should you lose track of who's alive, you can always check the top of the screen. On either side of the round timer is the team composition. This will show you what operators both teams have as well as which ones are still alive. Number 8, don't forget trapdoors. Trapdoors are easily forgotten by most defenders. When the ceiling above an objective is blown open, it can truly shift the tide of the fight and assume control of the entire room. If you want to prevent this, find the nearest stairs and reinforce the trapdoors above. Then the only operator that can breach these areas is THERMITE, and if he's up there, he's not breaching the reinforced walls on your floor. Number 9, use destruction to your advantage. Just because they have the breaching charges and grenade launchers and sledgehammers doesn't mean you can't break some things as well. In fact, I'm telling you to do just that. Blowing up a wall to create a new doorway or window can be the difference between failure and success. For example, SCD Squad and I use nitro cells to create a path between bomb locations we must defend. This allows us to respond to attacks on either one, and this isn't only limited to nitro cells. You can use melee or shotguns to create new lines of fire or sight that the enemy wouldn't expect. Number 10, block paths with deployable covers. While deployable covers are great for hiding behind, they're also great to trap your enemy. Since the attackers cannot move a deployable, you can also place these at the break in a flight of stairs or right before the doorways. This creates an obstacle that the attackers must either destroy or vault over, and no one wants to waste a perfectly good explosive. So they vault. This now puts them in a position where they have no retreat should someone or something be waiting for them on the other side. Number 11, sound is key. Sometimes maintaining visual contact on your enemies isn't as easy as it sounds. This is where your ears should come into play, which is why I always wear a headset when playing Siege. It isn't difficult to distinguish what direction or how far someone's footsteps are. You can even hear enemy callouts such as when they're reloaded or if they spotted someone on your team. Use this to your advantage for tracking and seizing the right moment to break from cover. Number 12, sprinting is bad. Like I just said, sound is key, and one of the loudest things you can do is sprint. Not only will it clearly give away your position, but it will increase the time it takes for your character to react to things like aiming down the sights. Number 13, prioritize your targets. When all hell starts breaking loose, it's hard to determine who to go for first. Enemies will act very aggressively to draw more attention to themselves, so it's up to you to prioritize who is an actual threat. Riot shields like Montaigne are a perfect example. When his shield is fully extended, he loses all lethalness. While I don't recommend ignoring him, I will say emptying your clip into his shield is a bad idea. Number 14, armor and speed ratings. You want to know all the operators' armor tiers, even the attackers, as this will greatly assist you in both defense and offense. Putting 2 or 3 bullets into IQ and putting 2 or 3 bullets into Rook are two different things. By knowing that Rook has heavy armor, you can make an estimation of how much health he may have left. Then there's also the matter of the operator's movement speed. This is directly tied to the armor tiers. Those with heavy armor are the slowest, and those with light armor are the fastest. Those with medium armor are the mid-range, and the most balanced of our armor and speed. Number 15, claustrophobia. I've been playing Siege since the PS4 technical test, and I can without a doubt say that I've developed a serious case of claustrophobia as a defender, but this has saved me time and time again. When enemies become really aggressive from a certain direction or around an objective, it's easy for most, if not the entire team of defenders to respond in the same fashion. This often leads to bunching in small areas, making it difficult to maneuver, increasing the chances of friendly fire, and granting the attackers an opportunity for double or triple kills. If you notice any bunching, notify your team and at least back away. This also happens when defending a single objective in a small room. I try to find alternate locations to safely defend, like a room next door or in the hallway before the objective room. Maybe even hang back in a safe but close location until a teammate dies. Number 16, shockwire and signal disruptors. As much as I love Mute, his signal disruptors can and are easily bypassed by drones. This has led me to using them to jam signals around walls instead. This will block Thermite's exothermic charges, and I've actually found that the shockwire is much more effective against the drones. This is a combination of the barbed wire gadget as well as Bandit's electric generator. The barbed wire slows the drones and also has enough height to snag them should they try to jump over. And the damage output from the shockwire is enough to destroy the drone in 1 to 2 seconds, which is fast enough that they won't make it away. The only drawback is resources. You need both Bandit's generator and barbed wire for this tactic. But also keep in mind that all electric gadgets are vulnerable to Thatcher's EMP grenades. Number 17, unbarricaded doors. Honestly, this one is a risky one. Depending on the map, it may be better idea to leave the door unbarricaded. The drawback is that the attackers do not need to breach and therefore can chuck grenades and fire into the room a lot easier. But what they can't do now is cross the doorway. This also prevents them from positioning themselves for the breach. Then the psychological perks. I for one get a bit nervous when I see a completely unbarricaded and arguably unprotected door leading directly to the objective. I of course wouldn't dare rush in there, but it strips me of the sense of safety usually brought by knowing all defenders are in that room. Number 18, charges can be shot. All deployable gadgets can be destroyed and they usually are done with a single bullet. This even includes Fuse's cluster grenades and Thermite's exothermic charges as well as the standard breaching charges. If you hear someone setting up one of these devices on a barricade or a wall near you, fire a couple rounds. Worst case scenario, you have to reload. Though if your gut was correct, you can wound an enemy, destroy an object, and prevent them from trying that entry point again. Number 19, Thermite is your HVT. When it comes to reinforced walls and trap doors, there's only one man for the job, Thermite. His exothermic charges are essential for breaching these, and this is why he's your greatest target. Eliminating a riot shield of the enemy's team's best player is great, but even a poor performing player can place an exothermic charge. This is why removing him from the field puts the defenders at a greater advantage. Once he's down, the attackers can no longer breach from anything reinforced. Number 20, dealing with shields. Riot shields are a pain in the ass. Fortunately for you, they were balanced after the technical tests. While they're not as lethal as the other operators, they can't be ignored. Outside of the usual tactics of ambushing, outnumbered, and flanking, nitro cells are your greatest way to deal with them. Captain trip mines are also very useful here because the shields block a lot of their view, causing them to miss the obvious signs of a trap. And in rare situations, it may be best to do something very risky and rush them. Since their movement speed and turn speed is so slow, you can sometimes flank them with a couple of shots at the exposed sides or even catch them with a melee. Just keep in mind if he sees this coming and brings up his pistol or decides to meet your charge with a melee, you'll likely die. Number 21, going prone. As defenders, going prone has multiple benefits. For one, you're making yourself much more difficult to hit due to your decreased size. You also can see under barricaded doors, and this will allow you to kill anyone attempting to set up a breaching charge. Then there's a psychological perk. Most people will only recognize objects at waist height and above. If you lay prone or on your back or against a wall, you are very easily ignored and in some cases appear to be a dead body. This won't always work, but it can buy you a couple extra seconds of time before the enemy responds. Number 22. This isn't an FPS. Forget your usual playstyle with Battlefield and Call of Duty and Halo games. This isn't your typical FPS. Sprinting, running and gunning, rushing enemies are all bad ideas and will often get you killed and sometimes a teammate as well. Even in an event that you do take out someone on the enemy team, it's not worth it. The chance of being killed is much higher than getting the kill, and there's no respawns here. Every death hurts both you and your team greatly. Number 23, play the objective. Last and most importantly, play the objective. While taking out the enemy team will result in a victory, this should be a secondary objective. When playing defense, you're already winning at the start of the round. As long as the enemy team doesn't reach the hostage or capture the objective or defuse the bombs, you'll win. That's just it. Which is why buying time is your best tactic. So take your time, don't risk it, because no amount of kills are worth the loss. And well, that's all I have for now, guys, but more videos will follow. Though if you have any tips or suggestions you'd like to add, go ahead and drop them down in the comment section below. Should you want to watch another video, I'd recommend clicking one currently on screen or click the small icon in the top right corner. Remember, you can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and PSN. As always, all links are in the description below.
It's probably just to reinforce that trapdoor.